Shalom, shalom. Wise Seer speaking. First one in, let me know if I'm clear, please. Peace and wisdom, Ezra Robertson. Now I'm a little under the weather, so this may be a little short. Let me give you all this jewel as I wait for y'all to come in here. Looks like I'm far back. Like I said, let me give you all this jewel as I wait for you to get in here. The first lesson when walking a path of wisdom is balance and honor. Peace and wisdom, Brian Pierce. I'm assuming I'm clear. Like I said, when on a path of true wisdom, our righteousness, it's one and the same. Righteousness is just to say you're right in your ways. Not necessarily right over, you get my point? You'll be right in whatever the moment is because you're right in your ways. In regards to like 7 times 7 is 49 and you say 10. I'm not talking about that so much. Now, like I said, when you're on a path of wisdom or righteousness, the first lesson or the first thing you must practice is balance and honor. Balance is being fair, and honor is being honest. Of course, it starts with yourself, both. You have to be fair with yourself. That means balance out things that may be unfair towards you. Maybe you have relationships that's not so fair, but you allow it to be. Balance those things out. Maybe there's relationships or situations where you're unfair. Balance it out. If you're confused in any way how balance means fair, that's what it means. Of course, balance, we're not talking about your body. We're not speaking about your body being on, a pole or something like that. I apologize, I'm trying to get this sound out of here. But like I said, we're not speaking about your body. We're speaking of your mind and emotional state being balanced. That basically means fair. And of course, honesty starts with the self. You're going to project out what's within. So if you're live filled, all you can project out is that. Now, you practice those two things, meaning you practice being fair with yourself and not allowing yourself to get entangled in anything that will be unfair to you. And you make sure you're fair in all your doings and your ways. And you make sure you're honest with yourself. Honest with others, meaning speak from the heart. And when you get that down pat, meaning after you practice that and you get it down pat, you will have acquired emotional control. But because it's going to take emotional control for you to be fair. You like what you like who you like, and you can always be biased towards these things, and you will be until you have emotional control. That's the only thing that interferes with y'all always being fair. Emotion. That's not to say you controlling your emotions is you not having emotions or acting like you don't have feelings. You need your feelings so you can manifest your reality. So don't ever let nobody confuse you to think like emotional control is acting like nothing bothers you. You could be bothered, you could be anything you want, but you have to be able to snap out of it. If you're fair-minded and fair in your ways, it's going to be hard for you to fall into, you get my point? things that's going to bring a disdain to self. Most of y'all disdains and bitternesses, it start there with an unfair. Usually those who are being unfair, they have the bitterness. It goes hand in hand. You just have to have an understanding of, the duality of life, balance. And so, like I said, when you practice balance and honor and you finally, get it down pat, it will be because you have emotional control. And so you get my point? Everything has a purpose. A lot of y'all get lost into your unfair ways. And when I say balance and honor, you think a give and receive, like, oh, he's saying this because he wants us to give back. You're going to do whatever you do. You're going to do all the wrong things as long as you have no emotional control. You get my point? And you're going to become aggravated and fall into all the things you do. But I'm speaking, walking the path of righteousness, path of wisdom. This path is better for you. Meaning a lot of y'all are on the wrong path, but somewhere in your mind you think like, no, Some of y'all have a mind like this where you say, nah, the evil stuff in life seem like it's winning. But I don't know what y'all be looking at. Because that's the only people I see suffering. It's the people that's getting over in their moments or being unfair. Think like Diddy. I would assume y'all would say like before he got locked up, he winning. And he ain't a great person. Why the bad people get the win? I don't know what you looking at. But you accomplish being fair and balanced. You accomplish emotional control. Damn, that's crazy. I forgot how my own phone worked. I'm sorry if I'm not that cute today. I'm under the weather. Sorry. I told my ladies that come in here just to see me. Daddy's sick. Oh, I'm sick for real. I can't even play like that. Direction 913 said, thank you, fellow wise self. Shalom, shalom. I want you guys to get wise for real. I know a lot of y'all have ego. You think you want equal level. Thank you, fellow wise. We not fellows. You're not on my level. I'm trying to bring y'all along. Y'all kind of slow. But if y'all can grasp the things I say in regards to like balance, honor, this is all the morals there is. Meaning there are no rules or a whole bunch of morals or whatever y'all think or whatever y'all live by. There's only two morals in life, or there's only two rules you could say in nature or life. Balance and honor, which is fair and honest. And whatever rule you have, well, it don't come before morals. And more than likely, whatever rule you have or law you have, is stand on that. Thou shalt not kill. Is killing fair? You get my point? If you say, nah, killing is not fair. Balance and honor. Everything go there, peace and wisdom direction. I'm glad you didn't take offense. I was just playing with you. I'm not playing with you. I was serious what I said, but I was saying it like that. I apologize, y'all. I'm sick, so my mind's not working right. I forgot how to turn my mind's just all messed up. I have cotton candy, clowns, naked women, the lecture, and you get it? Sorting through it. I'm a legend, so we can multitask in the brain. write a nice lecture, a couple of raps. You know, do a lot of things. The other day, I wrote my grandson a book. He's gonna be an author as soon as he turns 18. Like, I'm gonna give it to him. Like, yeah, it's already published. Just put it out there. You already know. I'm serious. I'm gonna let y'all see the book cover. You know, do things like that. I say you a rapper. Make a whole rap album and just Drake just make a whole rap album for his son for when he turned 18. He say nobody heard this. Just this is for you to sell, like your first business. It's a deep thing. Y'all don't understand. But where was I at? I forgot. I know I was telling you we not on the same level. Like I said, y'all a little bit slow, but if y'all can grasp the things I say, you get my point. You'll see the difference in yourself in from there's lesson 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Oh yeah, I was explaining how all the rules and laws y'all have, they just extensions of the 2. And so you get my point? Tarkanya blah something. You said, are you from Ghana? No, I'm from American. I'm an original American. I'm a descendant of the indigenous people of America. A lot of y'all are lost in the everybody's from Africa and all of that foolishness. When you get a chance, look up Sentinel Island people. Telling you to look them up because they are the oldest indigenous people on the planet. Meaning ain't no people y'all know that we have, that we can see like in real time, older than them. They've been over there in the Andaman Islands or the Sentinel Islands for like 60 years straight, uncontacted by, you get it, anyone. And so the reason I say look them up, because you would have had them on every continent. Not just, in Africa, then they migrated. You get my point? Get real. How is indigenous people that ain't even got clothes migrating across the ocean? You have indigenous people, they're black like the Sentinel Island people. And they're like that everywhere. Meaning that's how it would have been in the beginnings. You would have had African indigenous people, but they would have looked like the Sentinel Island people. You would have had Indian indigenous people, but they would have looked like the Sentinel Island people. Remember, Sentinel Island is right there by India. Now, what happens is colonizers come. These colonizers are white. When they mix with those black people, then you get like that Indian appearance, where they're dark skinned with straight hair. And over time, as mixed breeding continues in different places, then you get my point? You get all these diverse appearances. Let's say in America, you would have had those dark-skinned looking indigenous people, Sentinel Island people. They look just like black people from North America. We still look like that. You would have had them everywhere, South America, North America, and when the colonizers came and mixed bread with them, first go round, you would have got what we call Native Americans, or Indians, with their dark skin, straight hair, and over time they start to look more Puerto Rican-ish. Remember, the colonizers are from Spain, Italy, Portugal, meaning they're Spanish. And so you get my point? The Native Americans or the Native Indians is no different than a modern day Puerto Rican or Dominican person. They would just mix bread in their time. It's all a time thing. It's the same with North Americans or black people from North America. We're the descendants of the original indigenous people that would have been there. They would have been black and looked like the Sentinel Island people. But over the course of time of us mixed breeding in with the English people that came, well, you get my point? Some of us are light skinned. Beyonce complexion and her mother complexion, and some of us still look exactly like the indigenous people. It's the same thing happening at different times in different places on the continent. But everybody's just offspring of the black indigenous people. Black Americans being the closest descendant of the people. Meaning, if you get the black American race, maybe 25% of us are mixed bred in, where we're like a little lighter than we're supposed to be. But 75% of the race is still, you get my point? If you put a Sentinel Island person next to a black American, you tell me what's the difference. Except for the black American has on clothes. I have a video I did where I showed when you're dealing with the Native Americans or the Indians, they're more mixed bred out than us. I mean, probably 75% of them gonna look like a Spaniard a little bit. And maybe 25% of them still look like the original indigenous people of the place. And it would have been like that in Africa, India, everywhere, like I said. And so you get my point? The African versus the Indian little beef that people got going, like black people, talking about the same thing. Meaning before the place is colonized and named, and people take on these nationalities, you get my point? Before all of that, all you have is indigenous people all over the earth. They're all black, they all look like the Sentinel Island people. And over the course of time, in different places, of course, you have the same thing happening. They're mixed breeding in, and you get my point? You get the many different appearances that we have. In regards to Africans, of course, Arabs colonized over there, so they're half Arab. That's what would separate them. Everybody's separated by whatever colonizers colonized them. So the difference between a Mexican and a North American black, or let's say a Venezuelan and a North American black, is their lands was colonized by Spaniards, ours by English people. And so you get my point? It's like that. But if you look at the people, you'll see like there's a lot of similarities. Meaning you got dark ass Venezuelans and light ones, just like on our end. And so it's deep. Y'all lost into the systematics, not the, the pure underlying truth. He said, we think we are our mind, but we can watch our mind think. So we are not our mind. How can you watch your mind think? I self-Lord Master. I don't know what that means. Salam. Explain what you're saying because you can't see your mind. They said, what about white people? It's a long discussion, but to make it simple, if you go back far enough, you would have had your black indigenous people, wherever, look like the Sentinel Island people. And they would have been mixed bred in, meaning your first white colonizers would have been what we know as albinos, but not like minority albinos, just chalky white people. And you get it? That mixed breeding is how you get your many different white races and your many different variations in your dark races. The white people are more like the albinos, lack pigment somewhat, so on and so forth. In the minority groups, we fall more on the indigenous side. Those of us that still do, some of y'all are whitened out. Peace and wisdom. Please don't come here playing. If you're not mature enough to be here, come back when you are. Salam. And don't don't promote drugs here, please. This is a place of wisdom. Salami. Now, where was I at before I stopped and explained that to you? You said the Sentinel Island people are so fascinating. They must think planes, helicopters are aliens. Those people go back 60,000 years. That mean they could tell y'all about the pyramids being built. Like, think about that. Y'all be talking about people, civilized people, or civilized nations of people like the Sumerians. And let's say they go back 5 to 10,000 years. But the indigenous people, which is our ancestors, I mean, they go back 60. That mean if we could speak their language, they could tell y'all things way beyond past whatever little history y'all got. You talking about how was the pyramids built, and you get my point? They could tell you what was there before that. Like that. Their history go back untouched 60,000 years. That's a long time. In that, when you see them, you get a perspective of what man looked like 60,000 years ago, because they ain't been touched. And like I said, they look like regular North American black people. So we give you a perspective to see, like, when y'all get off all the dumb, systematic stuff, there's a history for us that can't even be accounted for. And at some point in time, it's going to be black people that's going to have to go over into Sentinel Island butt naked and try to communicate with these people, because they probably won't shoot y'all with arrows and get the blackest North American we know. They not going to shoot him. But they going to shoot the white man if you pull up. Indians, anybody. And so you get my point? While y'all BSing around, there's things like that we need to be accomplishing. That's where our history is. That's where knowledge from far back that you can't get from nobody else. It's with them right now. They still doing things that the ancestors from 60,000 years ago was doing. And that we could teach them, because it's our ancestors. And they could teach us. Meaning we could teach them how to live like civil. Y'all ain't got to sleep in trees and in the mud and shit, because that's how they sleep. Teach them how to build houses, things like that. Maybe they know how to build a hut. Maybe 60,000 years ago, they peoples did have contact. And you get it? That was it. Just a one-time thing. But teach them how to live civil. Build roads for themselves so they can move about. Build real houses that last. Teach them structure. How to, farm and things like that. And they could teach us what they know. And I don't mean teach them that so that we could rule over them. Teach them so they could do their own thing. Teach them to be fair as they go. And then go on our way. And you get my point? Take the wisdom they hold. They take the wisdom we hold. Fair trade. They raise up. They help to raise us up. From there, we come back, check on them. They probably be more advanced than we are. Without no limitations put on them, because we have limitations put on us. Y'all can't even build a house from scratch without going to the city and getting a building permit. You follow? And that we not free to just do whatever we want and kind of learn from being free. We got limitations of the city. They tell us we can't do this, we can't do that. Some of y'all will be master farmers, but you can't farm in your front yard. In that, you ain't got that day-to-day practice that you would have. You have limitations over you. And so we go deep. And so I get a little offended when y'all act like everybody black is from Africa. There's other places on this continent. There was never a time where there was just Africa and then all the other continents just popped out of thin air. Y'all speak like fairy tale. Everybody come from Africa, then migrated out. If everybody came from Africa and could migrate out, then that means there was places outside of Africa. And if there was places outside of Africa, I'm sure there was people on it. More than that, you can't migrate from one place to the next place and then completely change how you look. Think about that. We gonna migrate from Africa to the Chinese area and then magically turn Chinese? What you gonna say? Over the course of time and weather conditions? You got Africans that came over to China right now and they've been there for like 1,000 years. Meaning you got Africans that migrated to China 1,000 years ago and their line has been there all this time. They still look like a black African. The wind blowing on your face is not going to change your appearance. Your appearance is in your DNA. Michael Jackson could turn himself into a white old lady. But if he have a kid, it's going to look like whatever he look like. Y'all forgetting that. You say a person can move from Africa to China and turn Chinese, cool, but they offspring gonna look like whatever they truly are. And ain't no getting around that. My point is if Africans migrated everywhere that we know, then everybody would look like an African right now. You wouldn't have all the diversity that you do. And so you have that diversity because you had people everywhere, not just in Africa. And you did have people migrating from North America, from Africa, from everywhere. And sometimes intermingling. Excuse me, like I said, I'm sick a little bit. Trying to get it together. But the Africa thing is disrespectful. Not to just black Americans, but the indigenous people over in Africa. Like I said, it's all the same people. You have indigenous people everywhere, and they look like the black ass Sentinel Islands people. And I guess that's what y'all will call African looking. But they was everywhere. They didn't migrate from Africa and spread out. They was already all over the planet. That's the meek and humble that will inherit the earth. I'll say that again. When the Bible says the meek and humble will inherit the earth, of course the Bible is speaking of nothing y'all talking about. But when you hear that, it's speaking of the indigenous people. And dark, black, small pygmies, every continent you could think of. And the continents get colonized, at different times. In different places. This is how you start to get the variations. But like I said, black North Americans, as well as like Nigerians, not Somalians. They look like Arabs. You clearly see that, meaning they colonized out. Somalia. What's that other place with Selassie? I forget the name. It's off the tip of my tongue. Like even Morocco. Morocco, Arabed out. You get my point? Think like French Montana. He from Morocco. That's what Moroccans look like. French Montana look like an Arab. A lot of Arabs do look like Puerto Ricans, so you get my point? Every country in Africa is not what y'all will call a black people place. You had Arabs colonizing early Africa before it was even called Africa. It's like I tell y'all, Mansa Musa was an Arab. Musa is a title for an Arab king. Mansa Musa, he is a descendant of the Arabs that colonized Africa, and you get my point? He became a king over a place on that continent. But he a representation of the Arab peoples. Dark Arabs here, Ethiopia. They Arabs, man. Meaning they whatever a black American is, except they mix with Arabs. And the black American ain't really mixed at all. But if they are, it's with English people. Remember, people from England came to North America. Far north people. And so you get my point? This is why we speak English. and we carry a lot of the English ways. And this is why an African speaks Arabic and carries a lot of the Arab ways. Meaning Africans are Muslims, they speak Arabic. And do you get my point? Egypt, Arab country. You got to remember what we call the Middle East and Africa is just one place, one continent. So I guess they call that side the Middle East and they call that side Africa. But there is no Africa or Middle East. There's just countries over in that area. These countries is either white people, Arab people, or still indigenous black people, where you get my point? They look like Sentinel Island people. When you're dealing with like Nigeria, Nigeria was colonized by people from the far north, the English people and things like that. So they're similar to black North Americans. Think like Godfrey. He don't look like an Arab. He looked like a black North American until he tell you like, no, I'm from Africa. But he the same thing we is. A black indigenous person that people were mixed bred with, you get my point? English people. Not to say that he has English in him, just like every black person in North America don't. Just those of us that you could tell do. Now think like Nipsey Hussle and Black Sam. They look Arab. You say, what's the difference between Wise Solace and Nipsey Hussle? And if you put both of our images together, you know what y'all gonna say? That Nipsey Hussle fella look a little Arabic or something ain't right. He don't look all the way like black people look. Him or his brother. They look strange. And I know most of y'all, when you first seen Nipsey Hussle and his brother, you thought the same thing. They look weird as fuck a little bit. It's what I said. Africans are half Arabs. And so they gonna look half Arabic. But if you don't understand these things, then you just bunching everybody into African, and you get my point? There is no African. That's just what they call a whole continent. But whatever country Nipsey Hussle and Black Sam father is from, it's an Arabic place. And so do you get my point? Now they mother, black North American. Do you get my point? Not an African. And so if you're a black person from North America, you got to get off that African talk. You're dumbing us down. Yeah, Eritrea. You're dumbing us down when you do that. We the original people of here. And when y'all do that, then y'all give migrants and all kind of immigrants power to be coming over here fighting for their freedoms. Man, they better get in the back of the bus. If you a migrant or anybody and you got a problem in America, you need to get behind black people. Like, our thing come first. Because we been here. It's getting to that point. You got migrants, and I ain't racist or nothing, but goddamn, you gotta make sense still. You got migrants coming over here screaming and arguing about their rights. Hold the fuck on. We don't even got all our hours yet. And everybody in our way, truly, meaning we don't even all the way want white people here. They bum rush their way over here, so they bum rush their way over here, and you get my point? We rule shit with them a little bit. That's the little secret. So if you a Mexican or something and you like, black people ain't shit. We was the president and none of you niggas wasn't shit. You don't forget that. Again, there was a black president in America. It was a black everything in America. You know why? Because this our goddamn country. White people know that. And so they share some of the power with us because they don't want us to fuck them up. In regards to y'all, well, this ain't y'all business. Y'all don't know nothing about this. I'm speaking about migrants and Puerto Ricans and all different nationalities that get lost in the black people bickering all day. We greedy. We want all our shit. But don't get lost and think like we don't have no power and we nobody. We the other side of the white people that you see here. And so whatever you're crying about, get to the back of the bus. We ain't done getting what we need first. That come first. More than that, ain't nobody even supposed to be here but us. Unless you about to say black people don't look like Sentinel Island people, which is the oldest indigenous people that we have on the planet. That part. We can go anywhere we want and claim it because you feel me? All we got to do is strip down and get butt. All we gotta do is strip down to get butt naked. And you feel me? The indigenous gonna welcome us in. They gonna be like, where y'all been at? They gonna be speaking whatever they speak, and you feel me? But it's a deep thing. I'm joking a little bit, but black people gotta stop doing that, getting all lost in the politics. They just want y'all pumping Africa. Cause you get my point. As generations go down and down, we get dumber and dumber, and we give away a lot of our power. That's why I did that video showing black people like we were slave masters and slave traders too. And that's why the Civil War happened. It had nothing to do with freeing slaves. It had to do with, man, these black motherfuckers is getting too much money. They slave traders and slave owners and plantation masters like us. But that's kept, it's just like now. You got rich white people, you got rich ass black people. But you ain't gonna hear shit about 50 Cent in them 50 years from now. Do you get it? You're gonna be reading about Donald Trump and his rich ass white family and other white rich people family. You're not gonna be reading about every rapper that ran through $1 million and just fucked it up. That's not gonna be the story. And so it's kind of like that. It's not all the way equal and fair, but you get my point? We ain't dusties on the side of the road like it's being made to be. And that's in no point in time in history. And so when we were slave traders and plantation masters, we were slaving our own ancestors, meaning the indigenous people. And it's the same way now, because y'all have no connection to the indigenous people and y'all are claiming other nationalities. Y'all will slave them out again. You get my point? Meaning y'all will still Sentinel Island people and probably make slaves out of them. In ignorance. Black people. And so this is deep. Peace and wisdom. You said peace, brother. Our hexes is real. I don't understand y'all lingo. I'm from, back in the day. Whatever y'all talking about, you're going to have to explain it to me, a little better. Peace and wisdom, Rover TD, for the give back. You said deep, so do you consider us that has been mixed can still be considered indigenous to the land? In North America, black people are the descendants of the indigenous people. We're the closest thing you have to them. After us, your Native American tribes. They look a little Puerto Rican-ish, meaning they more watered down than we are. But they come from that same indigenous people that I'm speaking of that we come from, which would look like Sentinel Island people. A lot of the Native American tribes that we have, they come from Middle America and South America. And when the colonizers came and mixed bread in, some of them kind of escaped and went on their own way to the north, making their own little villages and tribes. And they probably was black-skinned and straight-haired. Some of them was a little lighter because they mixed bread in. And you get my point. Over the course of time, more colonists come, they mix breeding in more and more. They get like how you see them looking now. We're Native indigenous people or Native American people, like the Indians. They look a little Mexican Spanish-ish. But they come from the same indigenous people. They were just mixed bread and, had their contact at a different time in a different place on the continent. Meaning they're from Middle America and South America. And that was colonized when it was. And whatever time it was. And then they got the hell on all their way, and the mixed breeding and the colonizing continued. And Jennifer Lopez don't look all the way like a native Indian. She looked like one more watered down. Like that. Different time, different place. In that case, not a different place, but a different time. In regards to us, same thing. Of course, North America was colonized after South America by different white people in South America. And so you get my point? We are the same, we are the descendants of the same people, just mixed bred in at a different time or a different place on the continent. So there's no difference between a Haitian and a black American or black North American. The only difference is the people from the indigenous people from the Haitian area before it was named Haiti was mixed bred by by French people, France. That's why they speak all that parlez-vous français stuff. You get my point? Outside of that, they come from the same indigenous people we do. The same indigenous people that would have been everywhere. It's the same with Jamaicans. In any place you could think of, they come from the same indigenous people that I'm talking about, just mixed bred in at a different time, in a different place. In regards to North America, that belongs to black people of America, not a Jamaican, not a Puerto Rican. You get my point? Not a Native American. Us. We're the closest or most purest thing to the indigenous people, which is the original people, before they're all mixed, breaded out, and you get my point? Whitewashed down. Peace and wisdom direction. Hopefully y'all grasping. This is not a video to cause like something to argue about, because there is nothing to argue about. Just in regards to North America, if you ever wonder where do black people come from, we come from there. We still look like the indigenous people would have looked when the colonizers came. That part. Who else is from North America? Meaning it doesn't matter what race you are. Let's say you're white and you say, no, I'm an American. I was born here. Cool, but your descendants come from Scotland or wherever in Europe they come from, and that's your nationality. You could be here and you could be Chinese and you could say, I was born here and my people been here for 200 years. You're still Chinese from China. You follow? If you're a Mexican here, you're still from Mexico. Even if you never was born there, that's where your line comes from. If you were Jamaican, Jamaica. There's only one group of people who do not have a place. And there's only one place that don't have a people, meaning America. America is the place that none of y'all can actually say, we're from there, because you from wherever you from. That part. Black people from the place that don't have no people, and black people, the people that's lost in their nationality. Again, black people come from North America. It's always been that way. And all these African things that y'all got going on, this just have to do with Europeans trying to dumb out the black North Americans so they could take over the place. So if you go back to the Pan-African movement, it go back to the late 1800s. And it start with a dude named, like, I forget his actual exact name, but it was like Henry Sylvester or Sylvester Henry. And the Pan-African movement was started in Europe, meaning there was a big meeting in Europe with a lot of black people. But these black people wasn't black North Americans. They was from Jamaica, Haiti, so on and so forth. W.E.B. Du Bois is people Haitian or something. And so they was getting people that look like black North Americans to come and brainwash black North Americans out to believe that they Muslims, this thing, that thing, and everything but the original people of this place. You get my point? The Nation of Islam, it started with some white dude brainwashing Elijah Muhammad. That part. Look up who started Nation of Islam. You're going to see some white dude named Fard Muhammad. And he brainwashed all that foolishness on Elijah Muhammad so that black people could become religious. Because we wasn't religious at that time. We viewed ourselves as the natives of this place, and you get my point? We was into the hocus pocus stupid talk that y'all see y'all still into. And so you get it? Martin and Malcolm X, they just played a part in black people becoming Muslims and Christians. I'm not saying they did it on purpose. A lot of times people are manipulated, meaning these people were snatched up when they was young. When Malcolm X died, he younger than I am now. You follow? If you somebody watching and you like, man, talking about Malcolm X. Malcolm X did all of that stuff young. That's the age where you get brainwashed out and manipulated. You don't gotta think I got ego or besides myself, I'm older than that man would have been. Not if he was alive, but I'm older than he reached. You get my point? The same with Martin Luther King. These people would technically be younger than me. Meaning the oldest picture you got of Martin and Malcolm is two motherfuckers that's younger than I am. And so you get my point? Nobody snatched me up young and brought me to y'all to teach y'all. I came old. And so I know what I'm talking about. There's no agenda behind my words. There's no white man behind me with his hand up my ass. Or a black person either. I just give y'all the Jews, and you get my point? Sharpen the mind out. Stop being so weak-minded. Peace and wisdom direction, yeah. Get the books. You said, would there be any books you recommend? I recommend you go to my website, Upscale Knowledge, and do yourself a favor and get the RDF book. RDF, it means Removing Debt Forever, a land and resource book. And it explains so much deep things that all black people need to know. And you get my point? Everybody, even if you white, I don't want people to come here and feel like it's a white versus black thing. It's an ignorant and confused versus those that ain't. And it don't matter what side you fall on. It's like you got a cousin and he come from a different side of the family than you, but you still view him as family. Like that. White people, everybody here getting fucked over the same way. Meaning white supremacy is against white people too. So if you white and you see black people complaining about white supremacy, why the hell is you going against them, nigga? You suffering the same shit. If you white, think on that. White supremacy don't got to do like with white people over black people. White supremacy got to do with there's a small few white people in that white race taking hella fucking advantage of they own and anybody else that they can. And that's the real truth of the matter. And so if you're white and you see a black person complaining, you better look at your reality. If your ass ain't filthy rich and winning, you better fall back and let that black man do what he gotta do, because it ain't like y'all gonna do it. And black people, we share. We share too damn much. That's how y'all stole all our shit. But that's a whole nother story. Y'all stole our raps, our rhyme business, all that, right? And rhythm and blues. Y'all be saying that they stole the pyramids and stuff from us. Who care about that? Y'all need to focus on what they stole now, that they get money off now. Like basketball, nigga. And football, and whatever else you could think of. If you say ain't none of that come from black people, everything you know come from black people in regards to entertainment. Because they come to the black environments and they become entertained and they steal all that shit and sell it to the world. If you lost when you watching reality TV, you watching the black projects. The white person came to the projects and said this shit is entertainment. The way they just argue and fight all day for no fucking reason. We could sell this on MTV. Just put them in a house and let them act the fucking fool. Because if you remove the fool from the ghetto, he's still gonna be a ghetto fool. So they say we could just move them to Beverly Hills, pack them all in the house. It's still gonna be the projects, and people gonna love this shit. I'm giving you that example because if you think about basketball, baseball, or anything, and you like black people didn't start that, man, they came to the ghettos and stole that shit. I'm telling you. Anything you see on television, movies, acting, all of that, they came to the ghetto and they watched niggas pretend like niggas do all day. Like, there's a nigga in the ghetto right now acting out a whole movie scene. White man just ain't walk by and say, damn, that nigga can act. Like that. There's a nigga right now pretending like he's tough in the ghetto. He's super ass, but he's a great actor. He has the whole neighborhood fooled. And so we need to focus on the things that, be getting stolen now. And so if you black, you from North America, that's why I have, the post with the flag up with the turtle on it and it say original American. We not, what is this called? We not FBA and all these weird gang member groups sounding stupid shit. We just original Americans, that's that. Descendants of the original Americans that was here, and we still look like them, so we just the originals, that's it. We don't need to put all that extra goofy shit on it. Once we all grasp that, then we can start, making claims to things, because if you hold up an indigenous person and a black person, that's the end of the argument. You're going to kind of be wasting your time trying to convince anybody in the world that no, it's not like that. Yes, it is. And so, first thing you got to grasp is everybody don't come from Africa. Meaning people ain't born out the ground. I'm saying that because y'all keep trying to attach people to place. As if people are born or sprout out the ground and then start multiplying and running around. People come from women's vaginas. And a woman could be anywhere. Like, she could migrate anywhere. And that you can't say like, oh, people started in this place or that place. People started out of vaginas. Now it's that. I haven't changed yet. Where that vagina was at, where it was. So it's a deep thing. Now I want to touch on Trump. First Venezuelan, I forget the president name over there that he snatched up. And a lot of people think that has to do with oil or this thing or that thing. And it don't. It have to do with the old times. Think like the movie 300. If you young, go watch 300, Spartans. Xerxes pulled up on Leonidas. And he told him, I got nations of people with me. Kneel before me. Your nation could be under my nation, and you get my point? We gonna exploit y'all out and do whatever we want with y'all, but y'all have this backing. You'll be down with the world power, which is Xerxes. He God king. That means you got kings of countries in the world, but they all have to answer to him. That's why I told y'all God is an old word for a ruler. We don't live in God times no more. That's when you had kings over kings. When Jesus is the Son of God, our God in the Bible is referred to as the King of Kings. That part. This come from them times. Back in the day where one king, let's say like, you see how you got different countries now, America, this place, that place, they all got different rulers and presidents. In the past, it would have been, one of them would have been the ruler over all these places. And all them kings just acting through him. And he the God. And you get my point? They the king in that place for the God, which is him. And when he pull up over there, you get my point? That whole nation get to see like they king kneel before him. Can you imagine that? You got a king and then another motherfucker come through and you see your king bow like how y'all gotta do y'all king. That part. Now can you imagine 10 different kings from different places? And the people of the place got them as the heights of everything. And then somebody like Xerxes pull up and they got to kneel before that man. That part. We lived in them times back in the day. And nothing changed. You get it? Meaning Trump ain't do that over oil. Trump did that because America's a world power. Let's say China's another world power, Russia too. Few of the Arab countries, they kind of getting their way up there to being a world power. And so you get my point? Venezuela, all the other countries either fall under a world power or they're controlled and protected by a world power. Venezuela is not connected to any world powers, but let's say Venezuela loose booty, like the mingle and jingle with a bunch of world powers. And so do you get it? Trump like let's shut them down before, you get my point? They looking buddy with the Arabs, man. Next thing you know, the Arabs gonna be running the oil over here. Nah, let's shut all that down right now. And that's why that happened. Meaning Venezuela, they probably didn't submit to something that the world power, which is America, Trump the representative of it right now, they didn't submit to something. And so they got smashed. And now we gonna run that oil. And ain't nobody else gonna get it. And you get my point? That's why that was done. It had nothing to do with the oil or the drugs. It had to do with like a threat probably was made. Like, don't be mingling and jingling with none of our oppositions. Because it don't look right and you too close. And maybe Venezuela said, fuck you, I'll do what I want. I could talk to who I want. And do you get it? Now you're going to get smashed out. And whatever y'all got, we'll just take it. And that's how it went in the past. A nation to get overthrown, and they will leave the government and everything the same. But now they can exploit that place for whatever they want. The resources of that place truly belong to whoever conquered them. But the people of the place won't know no difference. It'll be the same for them. And so it have to do with that. Meaning, y'all overlook that, like I said, you got world powers and you got other countries that ain't. And everybody's fighting to be the world power. And so you gotta make your moves how you gotta make your moves. Trump is doing a lot of things. Trump doing the right things, but it ain't right in regards to, like, you get my point? That whole system. He's basically going against the system. The system being fuck the people of the place. Let the rulers do their thing, and you get it? Spoils of war thing. Trump kind of taking the job too serious, so he cleaning up and correcting things that they rather leave sloppy. Look at it like that. And so, that's not to say, I'm not saying Trump perfect or he good president. I don't deal with none of that weirdo stuff. But don't hate somebody so much to where you start hating everything they do, because some of the stuff they doing got to serve you in some way. You get it? Nothing can't be all bad or all wrong. So you get my point? You hating Trump to the point where you shitting on anything he do, At some point, you're going to be shitting on your own safety. Use the migrants as an example. Trump got ICE snatching up the migrants. You got Americans, or people that think they Americans, because you know we the original. But you got Americans getting mad at ICE for snatching up the migrants. But it's because they don't understand, like, the politicians before Trump, they sold this place out to like Arabs and other opposition countries. And that when y'all see the migrants coming over here, at least 60% of them are Islamic extremists, meaning they Muslims and they hate you niggas. And they've been raised and taught that way, and it ain't nothing y'all will ever be able to say to change their mind. And while they're here, they're going to grin and smile in your face because they a stranger here. They scared still. But you get it? At the appointed hour, they're going to start fucking shit up. And that's why all these migrants is coming in here. It's a selling out thing. You could say Biden and a few other presidents and politicians of before, they sold out. Meaning they made an arrangement or a deal with these different countries. You know, some of them in Africa, some of them, you know, it's all Arabic shit, like I said. The African migrants that's coming over here, the South American ones, these is the places that's kind of overtaken or have ties with your Arab places, your Arab powers. And so let's say like your Arab powers made a deal with politicians and presidents of old to let some of their people come in. Let's say the president say, I'm going to take the $50 million bribe you giving me, and I'm going to pass the law to let the migrants come in. Like that. They know the migrants probably going to bomb shit, but they like, I'm not turning this $50 million down. I'll just get my family out of there. If you wondering why the wealthy building bunkers, because they sell you niggas clean out. These foreigners will pay top dollars if somebody could pass the law to let fit 20 million Arabs in here. Like that. They let in 11 million migrants. That part. And so Trump got ICE scrambling around trying to get them out of here because he know they was supposed to attack when Biden was in office. I ain't even supposed to be in office again. And so you get it? He trying to get them out of here for Al-Malama, Al-Kubra happened. This is basically the Great War. This is basically when Muslims attack all non-believers. But that's basically just Christians. They just hate Christians. So attack all Christians, and you get my point? This is the Great War that's supposed to wipe out the whole world. Everybody falling in under a religion in some way. And it's either Christian off branch or Muslim off branch. Meaning it's either Islam or off branch of it in some way, or Christianity and off branch of it in some way. And you get my point? We already there. Meaning the war already took place in many different countries, just not over here yet. And the only reason it ain't start over here yet is because it's a deep secret most people don't know. America overthrew its king and has been a rogue nation or a rogue country. When I say rogue, meaning there ain't no leader over this place. America's like an open store. Now imagine the store got a owner, a manager, supervisors, employees. And the store make hella money. Now imagine the owner, manager, supervisors, and all the employees somehow just disappear, and the store just sitting there generating money like it always do. And whoever can come in and be like, I'm the manager. Meaning whoever could just come trick their way in and be like, well, I'm gonna be the goddamn supervisor. They can exploit the money of the store for the time. When they time run out, somebody else could sneak their way in. And that's what the politicians are. They all trying to get a title in the government seat somewhere so they could steal the money that America generates that no one owns. It's like a place generating money that no one owns and can claim it. No one owns the White House. No one owns anything here. It's all a trick. Again, America had a king. That king was King George the Third. You can look this up. And this is what the Revolutionary War was about. King George the Third was technically the ruler of America before the Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary War is like, it ended like 1783. Let's say it started like 1770 something. The Revolutionary War is when America got its freedom from Great Britain, King George, basically. You get my point? When that happened, there hasn't been a ruler over America ever since. Now, don't get lost. Back in those times, you had the 13 colonies. Them 13 colonies is like the first 13 states are pre-states, because it wouldn't have been the states as you see them now all developed. It would have been a rinky-dinky beat-down settlement. So when you hear 13 colonies, just think like white people putting a settlement up in New York State. But the whole state's still forested out. Same with Delaware, New Hampshire, and whatever other states was a part of the 13 colonies. The 13 colonies being 13 of the 50 states we have now. But the first 13. And it was before it was developed into the states we see now. This is when it would have been a dirty little rinky-dink. Y'all wouldn't have called it a state or a city. Y'all would have called it a dirty camping ground. You get it? And this would have been your white colonizers coming from Europe. You follow? And you would have had those 13 colonies or states, and everything else would have still been forested out. And you would have had Native American tribes and indigenous people. Remember, the indigenous peoples, the butt nakeds that look like the Sentinel Islands, our ancestors. And you would have had the Native Americans. They like half-breeds, but they come from the indigenous as well. You would have had the indigenous, the native Indians, and the new colonizers all merging together to fight off the European, basically King George. Meaning they ain't want to pay King George taxes and all that no more, and let him do what he want with the place. So there was a war, and the Native Americans helped the white colonists basically overthrow him. Now, the white colonists, the Native Americans, and the indigenous is who's referred to as the Americans. You follow? But there was no ruler to come after that. So what happened is the Constitution was wrote. The Constitution is a book. And in that book, so you have all these positions. President, senator, this thing, that thing. And whoever can fulfill the role or get the role, like I explained with the empty store, then they can exploit the money that America's making. But there's no king or ruler of this place. There's just the Constitution, which is a book. And that is the sole ruler of America. Meaning the government. And however many different titles and positions you have in government, the government fall under the Constitution. Meaning the Constitution, which is just a book, rules this whole place. And nobody or no title is above the Constitution. The government is basically the servants of the Constitution. And so because they feel the roles in the Constitution, they get to exploit the wealth of America. America being ran by the Constitution. And so do you get my point? It's like a trick. The King of America was overthrown, and from then it's just been a country that has a bunch of wealth that no one owns. and that you have foreign people coming in here, ruling certain areas, exploiting the money out of America, like that. Everybody's just robbing the place because no one knows that there's no owner. Anybody could do what they want. Anybody could do what they want here because there's no true rulership. There's no real rules. There's just the Constitution. But that's just a book. It can't force nobody to do nothing. It's not real like that. Every place got a king or a ruler. America got a book. You get it? But nobody knows this. They say, no, we have a president and a government. Those is just the titles that come from the book. And you get my point? Whoever gets to fulfill the title or the role gets to exploit the wealth of America for as long as they in that position. The treasury ain't owned by nobody. Or better yet, the reserve. It's not owned by nobody. How the money of America is not owned by nobody, like that. And that, everybody just stealing, like, politician wise. So if you say, like, man, I don't see what's the point of being a politician, because you don't understand, like, what I just said. You got free you got a place that generate hella bread and ain't got no owner of the money, like that. If you say why nobody don't just take over, because the Constitution, whoever fulfilling the roles in the Constitution, you get my point? Each role is over the next role, and that'll make it hard for one individual to kind of take over the place. Because everybody that's in a title or position gonna feel like, well, why can't I? Why you? And so it's tricky. Now here's the trickiest part of it. The Constitution, the Constitution rule America, right? But the Constitution is just all the people of America put into one. That one book represents all the people of America. Remember, the book is over the government, but the book is the people. Meaning, if all the people stop voting, then it's over. The people have the power to overthrow the government, but the people don't know. And not as individuals, meaning I can't go up and overthrow the Constitution. You can't either. But together as a people, we can. And nobody could do nothing about it. It's legal and fair according to the Constitution. You follow? And so it's like a deep thing y'all don't know. This is why when they ran in the Capitol building like that, and y'all like, damn, that shit's strange. How they just run up in here like that? Capitol building don't belong to nobody. They just in there. They in there because y'all don't know nothing. Y'all don't read the Constitution. Y'all know nothing. Y'all just people of the place. Y'all just go to work. And so do you get my point? But they knowing like, yo, we getting close to where like they gonna wake up. Every place go through it. Where the people start waking up like, hold on, this is fake. This is a fake system made up. We people living in real life. What the fuck are we even doing? Like, how my homeboy in jail because he killed somebody? The damn lion in the jungle ate the damn deer. He ain't in jail. That part, this real life y'all living. Y'all playing somebody Monopoly game. Somebody movie. Here's all these rules. Now, if you don't follow it, you can go to my jail. But my jail, I just made that up. Yeah, it's a real place, but I made it up. Right? And so like that. They go deeper, but I don't want to get my channel taken down. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but someone said Iraq. Iraq, Reese was already there. Yeah, you're lost into the systematics. I think maybe you need to listen to this video over again. Some of y'all too brainwashed out into like, you get it? Nationalities. But the Constitution is basically all the people as one thing. Just like the government and all the different positions in it, it's just one thing. Meaning every individual that's in a government position, they're just a person on their own. But all together, they're the government body. But as an individual, they're no fucking body. And so it's a deep thing. Like I said, America don't have no ruler. It overthrew its king in the Revolutionary War times. I'm sure you like, I didn't know America had a king. You don't know shit about history. You don't read history. You listen to people online that's trying to get content, tell you anything to serve whatever agenda they like. And so this is just the real truth. You can look all this up too when you get a chance. It go deeper than this, like I said, but Trump just trying to steal. You get it? It's just a stealing game. That's all I can tell most of y'all. It's just a big stealing game, and you got foreigners and all kind of people all got their hand in the wealth of America because there ain't no real ruler that can do anything about it. In that, you get it? You got thieves trying to block other thieves. Like, nah, the fuck out of here. It's kind of the same way over in the South America, in Middle America. It's like rogue places that have no true ruler. And people just got their hand in it any old way that they can because they know nobody don't really know except like some of the politicians don't even know. A lot of the politicians think like it's some real order. They don't even know, like, no, the Constitution, which is just a book, just make all of this. And you get my point? We just fall under that. But in all truth, you have to have a brain to know, like, why would somebody write a book so that a book could rule a country? What kind of dumb nonsense is that? In that, you have to have a brain to know it's the new genius way. In the past, a king is the king over the place. At some point, the people rising up and they behead the king. How you gonna behead a book? Whoever the true ruler of these places, do you get it? It's like a trick. Let the book rule them, and whoever's the true ruler is gonna rule behind the book. Once the people wisen up, the most they could do is overthrow the book, never knowing who's the real ruler of the place. And that'll keep the kings in modern days safe. All these different places ran by constitutions or books. And that the king could hide behind that. In that you say, damn, America ain't got no ruler, just the Constitution. It has a ruler. But you get it? Blood ain't fighting back. Just gonna rape the place till you figure it out, and at most you can just overthrow the book and they can slide on up. Like nothing ever happened. And so it's a deep thing. In the past, kings ruled over the people. I guess they said, nah, this don't work. Because over time, over the generations, you get it? I be king now, but let's say my grandson gonna get his head chopped off. My kids gonna rule after me and they gonna be successful. But by the time they get to my grandson, the people gonna wisen up and he gonna get his head chopped off. In that you say, how can I stop what always happens from happening? The book. Let the book appear to be the ruler of the place. And put all those titles in the book. In that people share of the power, never knowing who's the real power. And so it's a deep thing unless you think a book really rule a place. Book ain't right itself, and ain't nobody generous enough to say let's write a book so that the people could rule themselves. Why let the people rule themselves if you could rule them? They don't know no better. And so you get it? You go deep. But I don't want to say too much. Like I said, peace and wisdom. Now, if you have any questions asked, there was something else I wanted to explain, but it slipped my mind. But in any event, just keep y'all eyes open with the migrants and all of that. I'm not saying it in y'all extremists in y'all own little way too. So just keep y'all eyes open, like I said. Don't be getting too buddy buddy with migrants. You get my point? They don't like y'all that much. They already been brainwashed not to. And you get my point? ICE doing whatever it could do, but y'all clearly see they ain't getting the job done. So let's just say sometime this year it's gonna get real strange. And so at some point y'all gonna need to do what I said in regards to coming together in nice little puddles of maybe 25s, 30s, 10s, and come together and get land. Build it up, and you get it? Have a place to slide out to whenever you need to, because y'all already seen how it got when COVID hit. Y'all was all stuck looking stupid. And so, you gotta learn from your experiences. And so y'all can all, get my book RDF. That'll help y'all, guide y'all way. And I have a little land blog on my website. You could join that as well. I'll be putting things up there sometimes, like in regards to what lands is on the market. It explains how y'all can kind of do everything. Come together, chip in, get the land, what y'all need to do. All the information is there. How to govern yourselves in the meanwhile. You get my point? It's all there on my website. The book, it just explains everything concerning like you being, on the land with others and how to get along without needing any products or outside things, so to say. Because everything we have in the city is made from the resources. Like this shirt. It comes from plant fibers. Meaning if you take a plant, you snap it in half, you see those little, those little weird things, stringy things. Those things is spun into thread. The thread is then weaved into fabric. Of course, if the plant fiber is silky, so you're going to have a silky fabric. When you spin it in the thread and weave it in the fabric, it's going to be silky. Like banana plant. Banana plant fibers make like a silky fabric. You spin it in the thread, weave it into a fabric. It's going to have a silky feel, kind of like silk. Cotton, you pick the cotton, you spin it in the thread, and you do the same. This is how clothes is made. Now and in the past. Of course, they use spinning jenny machines and other things to make it faster, but that's how clothes is made. From jeans to shirts, whatever. Shit, you can even make some really good tissue that way. Of course, tissue is made from what is that stuff on a tree? Like tree pulp? Shit, you got rayon. That new fabric, rayon, I don't even know if it's new. But it's made from like wood chip. You get my point? Meaning they soak the wood chip however they do, they spin it in the thread, and there's your rayon. It's like a silky feel, close to. So the book have wisdom like that in it, as well as explaining to y'all what y'all cities and states are. And basically businesses. People, the product, are the work of the people and the resources of the place is the product. And of course, these things is exploited out. Peace and wisdom, Joshua Northern. Yeah, the Pope. And so there's a lot of things y'all don't know. Of course, in the daytimes, they dumbing y'all out. I'm giving y'all a whole bunch of wisdom, but it ain't all accurate. And that is like knowledge overload. It's making y'all overly emotional and, you know, dumber than y'all would be. It's like I always say, online it's like MK Ultra thing. Think like the algorithms. Most of y'all view the algorithms as like the viewpoint of the world. You get my point? Y'all view it in a view way. Like if you do a video like this, a lot of people like it. It's like the algorithms to y'all. But that's not how the algorithms work. The algorithms is like this. Those that control the algorithms, they play on the content creator. Meaning those that control the algorithms are us behind, you know, this number game that y'all play online, where y'all trying to get views and likes. Whoever controls that, they control the content creator by making the content creator release the content that they want them to release. But they do it like, you see how y'all say, man, if I make negative videos, then they get way more views than if I make positive videos. That's not true, but they make that true. They control the algorithms. So let's say your positive video got 1,000,000 views, but they only let 20,000 views show, and your bad video got 20,000 views, but they put 1,000,000 on that. Swap and dop. You get it? You got a whole bunch of content. It all has different numbers. So let's say they say we're going to switch the numbers on those two. How would they know? How could they prove anything they wouldn't even know to know? Like that. In that, let's say whoever controls the algorithms, they say, I want all the black people to argue and fight with each other. In that, when y'all argue and fight, they make the numbers go high. In that, y'all say, yeah, I need to get another argument going. The people must like me arguing, but the people don't like you arguing. It's all fake. The algorithm did that. And the algorithm is doing that so that you can keep making that kind of content. You follow? Meaning black people and all people, but mainly the blacks, we're being controlled by the algorithm in that way. Y'all believe the viewers want to see the negativity, but it's whoever's controlling the algorithms. They're making the numbers appear that way so you give in and say, I'm going to just make negative shit because that's the only way I'm going to get these views. The algorithm controllers, they control the content creator's perspective on what they need to release. The viewers are going to become brainwashed by whatever the content creator is releasing. Meaning the content creator has a whole bunch of people that admires them. And they're going to do whatever the content creator is doing and saying. Those that control the algorithms, they control what the content creator creates by making him have a perspective. They like this over that. The woman online, let's say she do something positive, it don't get that much views, but it really did. And she was showing her ass twerking one night, and that ain't get that much views, but they ranked the views up on that one. And that the content creator woman gonna say, I need to shake my ass in the video more because I see the views on that is sky high. She think that's what the people actually really want to see. Not knowing, like, no, that's what those that control the algorithm want me to promote out there because my viewers are going to do whatever I do. And this is how those that control the algorithms control the masses. Meaning they dumb y'all out in that way. It's tricksy. Y'all have control, so y'all view it as, nah, it's just what the people want. No, it's all a trick. You got to remember, television got to do with rich people promoting their products or influencing people in some way. That's all television got to do with. If you black or you somebody poor, you say, no, television got to do with me getting on it and being rich. No. Television got to do with people that's already rich, promoting their products and kind of controlling the perspective of the people. It's called sponsorship. When you're watching your favorite television show or favorite podcaster, it's a sponsor behind them. You tell them, nigga, promote this for me. This is when you hear the commercial pop up. Buy Hennessy. Or maybe your favorite podcaster pop up somewhere in the segment of this show and say, this video is brought to you by. You get it? They bought them. And that's all television is about. Rich people buying spots on TV to promote their product and influence the masses. When I say buy a spot on TV, whoever's on TV, they buy them. They become their promoter for whatever they're selling or whatever they want people to think. I'm saying that so you could grasp. The algorithms serve that. And it has nothing to do with y'all having fun or being entertained or even getting a shot to be rich and famous. It all have to do with what I just said. The rich controlling perspective and getting their products off and ruling through that. And so if you're from the broke side of town, whether you're rich or not, meaning if you come from poverty, but maybe you're doing it right now. Maybe you come from poverty and you still impoverished. Television has nothing to do with you getting rich and famous. It have everything to do with people who are already rich controlling how people think and continuing to sell their products through your eyes. And they're going to get a new star every generation for that purpose. And they're going to pay him and control him from there. Those of y'all that they don't control, meaning they haven't signed no contract with you, well, there's the algorithms. And you will make whatever content you make, and they will make the views appear on your content whatever they want you to make. So if you black, you already noticed that. Like, yo, I can't seem to make no positive content and get the views going. But if I come on this bitch embarrassing myself or fighting, voila, that's on purpose. They want black people to argue and fight with each other. And so y'all do. Meaning all y'all pretend arguments for views have become real arguments. The real fights now, y'all really don't like each other now. You get it? Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb, they really don't like each other now. But we all gotta pretend like that wasn't for what it was. Meaning y'all dumb now. Y'all don't know they had a whole argument just for views' sake. You don't think them two fat old niggas didn't know from jump they wasn't gonna fight each other? It wouldn't matter how much they argue. I'm not saying they staged it and said let's get in each other's face. I'm saying they just went to extreme measures to make the show good. Yeah, Corey Holcomb got a little aggravated, but y'all really think he was gonna do something? It's all a show. And now y'all really don't like each other. Meaning black people keep playing the algorithm game or they keep letting the algorithm game control them. The algorithm game to them is, man, it's just what the people want to see. We not wise enough to know, like, no, we can override the algorithm by doing what we do and letting the algorithm know, well, we don't give a fuck. Whatever you trying to force us to do by making the numbers look good, we ain't budging. Like how I do. I say if I come on here and gossip, y'all come in here so fast. Wouldn't matter. We keeping it at the wisdom. I'll play with the numbers all you want. I don't care about that shit. I'll just make my shit some other kind of way. You get my point? When y'all get like that, where y'all don't care no more, and you like, yo, I'm up on game on all this dumb shit, it ain't working on me no more. I ain't dumbing my own down for some views. That's not even really real. It's just the algorithm to make me think Once y'all get there, then we start getting some power back. Because you get my point? We are the entertainment. Let's not forget that. And I ain't talking about negativity. You got the dudes that do the pull-ups and the push-ups and all of that stuff. You got the blacks that shoot in the forest and all kind of different things we do that ain't necessarily fall into negative. I don't view the dudes shooting in the forest as negative. They ain't shooting at nobody. Guns is negative, but you get my point? We all was kids. We all like guns. I'm not going to tell a little kid they can't have a little fun shooting a gun at. You get my point? I wouldn't tell my own kids that. You like gun, you want to shoot it, be careful. You get it, guns ain't no toy. And they violent. You get my point? You going to feel tough. You going to get hyped up. But ain't nobody around, so get it out your system. You get my point? This real life. Y'all kind of forget this is real life. The kids going to go through everything we go through. Whatever your kid want to do now, you wanted to do when you was young. You got to just remember, like, is this one of them things I can let them, like, learn on their own and go through the little hardship that come with it on their own, but at least they get to have the experience? Or do I intercede? Some things you got to intercede on. Be like, no, I'm not letting you go that route. You better just learn from the stories I told you. There's other things y'all got to let them just, let them do. It's a part of just coming of age in a tribe, so to say. Black people got to get back like that, where we live in more tribal and remembering, like, nah, this is just a generational thing. They at that age, and you get my point? He getting a little familiar with the guns. He like them. And you just teach him and let him know things the accurate way. Start liking girls, boys, things like that. These is all just generational things that happen. Ain't nothing to have a heart attack over. This is real life. We kind of have our, well, not we, but y'all have y'all kids like y'all pets. This real life. You gotta let them get out there, get bruised up, beat up a little bit. Otherwise, you get my point? They're gonna be a spoiled brat, blaming you for every goddamn thing because you didn't let them do nothing. When I was growing up, our elders let us do everything. It was that first time that you got to go to the store by yourself and you was scared as fuck. Like, damn, she gonna let me do it. All of y'all that's my age, you got that memory. But you like, yeah, I remember the first time my dudes let me go to the store by myself. I was scared as fuck. Y'all also got that memory where you like, yeah, I remember the first time I got on my train by myself and my mom's let me go to school because she got tired of taking me. Or my older sibling got tired of taking me, so I was able to get on the train by myself. But I was still a minor, but I got through that. Like, you was scared, but, as you did it, you did it. Like that. You had many different generational things like that. And everybody coming of age went through, those little moments. And you get my point. The elders were sitting there waiting. The first day you went to school by yourself and you came back on the train, all the elders was out there like, yeah, look at this nigga. Look at this little nigga think he grown. You was feeling yourself like, yeah, I did that, nigga. We gotta get back like that. Damn, I gotta pee, but I don't wanna stop it. But like I said, we gotta get back like that. And when we do, you get my point? The young gonna be all out here looking dumb. I'm back. If anyone wants to get back, I think my links is in the description, but I don't even know. But like I was saying, you have those little said you was born in 77. Everything I'm saying is straight. Yeah, these young, y'all gotta start telling them. I do the wisdom, but some of y'all could come on here and do these type of things. Bring them back to when you get it. We was outside and we was living life. Life is digital now. They just live life digitally. They don't really understand. Like, nah, you would be outside back in the day, and you'd be a part of a neighborhood in a tribe, and you gonna have your moments where you have to prove yourself. And if you fall short, then it's gonna be the next season. But you gotta overcome these certain things. Yeah, it's gonna be beefs, and you're gonna have to walk to the goddamn store and get jumped, and even the females. But it just come with the tribe. Like, you get my point? And you might be the whole bitch in the whole tribe, but they still gonna fight for you. Like, some of y'all was the pussy in your neighborhood, and you got jumped that day. And all the tough motherfuckers was like, nah, we not letting them slide. He's our pussy. Like, he's our little bitch. Like, how they gonna put hands on him? And the whole neighborhood went and fought for you, and you not even a nobody. That's how it was in the past. It didn't matter if you was the less thing on the block or the greatest thing on the block. You went through whatever you had to go through on the block, but if any other block came, you get it? You was a part of the tribe, and you get my point? You'll come along when you do, but y'all have to learn that. You get my point? And go through y'all little things, knowing that the elders, we went through that too. He's out, bitch. Y'all stupid. That's how it was in the past. The elders went through everything you going through, so they just sitting back like, yeah, this is our moment to watch ourselves when we was like that. I come from the time where you get pussy for the first time and the elders is telling you like, oh yeah, you got you some pussy, huh? And you like, how the fuck how they know that? They wasn't even around. You think you slick. You like, I don't know. But they could tell in your stride, in your attitude, even your smell now. They like, nah, this motherfucker different. He got some pussy because I remember when I first got some, and you get it, you couldn't hide nothing. It was all a show and dance, meaning you was coming of age and the elders was always watching. Sometimes they just hit you with the smurf, like, yeah, I know what you did today. It's like on Baby Boy, he caught the body, then the OG came in there. He didn't say nothing. He already know, like, y'all remember when the first time I had to knock a nigga down. And you get it? I already know what he going through. We don't got that no more. The young just living through life on their own. It's half the young fault and it's half the eldest fault. But it is how it is. It's like my daughter. She's at that age now. She's 24, or she will be real soon. And she's at that age where they think like I'm grown, I'm an equal. You not never an equal. You just grown now. There's still an order. There's still a tribe order, a family order. And you get it? A lot of women be bitter in the daytime, so you get my point. They kind of put a lot of bitterness on the children, and the children don't get raised with no family value and order all the way. And it ain't nobody's fault. You get my point. Meaning, if the woman bitter, she bitter because of the man. If the man ain't willing to care about her bitterness, so you get it, that fall on the parents. But there's still the family values and the order of the family. And a lot of the kids in the daytime don't get that. But like I said, it's all normal. Meaning everybody's kids gonna get to them teenage years where you like, I'm ready to put my hands on them. And you're gonna get to them adult years. We always like that. Me too. When I was 24, you get my point? Shut the fuck up. Nobody trying to hear that shit. I'm equal. My point is, I don't lose sight of that with my daughter. Right now, I kind of got on a little pay no mind list, but she probably think it's for good, but it ain't. It's just the point, to make the point. You get my point? You an adult now, you have to be held to adult things. It's not like when you were a kid where you can make mistakes and they get pushed off on your mama. Oh, I didn't know, and you grown. You got to carry it like an adult, and you get my point? But the adults can't lose their sight of, nah, this is just the growing of age things, and you get my point? The adults in the daytime kind of cut the young off. Like, I ain't fucking with them. They stupid. Forgetting, like, nah, it's just the cycles. They digital though, so that's where the divide come. We was more hands-on, y'all more digital. And it's our job to get y'all out the digital because real life is way more fun than online. Whatever y'all watching online is just a digital version of real life. And so you get my point. But it's a lot of attacks against, the young. Meaning the new generation's always going to be exploited and attacked if the elders over that generation, I'm talking like a tribe, like not just the family, but the whole race. If they ain't on top of their young, then they young gonna fall to society. Meaning they gonna have their mind locked in on society instead of the tribe and the tribe values and all the coming of age things. And you get my point. Life is it's a circle. My daughter's gonna get to that age where her son is like 16, get his first piece of pussy, and you get it. She gonna be like, this little nigga got him some pussy. And I'm gonna be the granddad, which I am, sitting in the back like, shut the fuck up. I remember when you get it. And that's the beauty of the family generational. Whatever you think you going through, some motherfucker right behind you like, shut the fuck up. That's how I was with your little goofy ass. And then when my grandson have kids, you get my point? My daughter will be behind him like, shut the fuck up. I remember when you got some pussy. And everything, keep everything in order. And my mother get overly mad at me, my grandma can always step in and say, shut the hell up. Remember when you was doing that same thing? Don't get too lost. Boy, just coming of age. Then the mama say, yeah, you right, I forgot about that. And that's the point of that structure. So you don't go too far this way or too far that way. Everybody keep everybody in order. Once that's lost, you get my point? Black people there, we lost all our family values. Once they took eating at the family, like eating at the family table for dinner away, then y'all can't look y'all own family in the eyes and have real talk no more. Think if you black. If you want to talk to one of your own, what you do is spark an argument. It's the only way you got the courage to say whatever you want to say, and you still don't ever say what you want to say. You wind up saying some dumb shit to start an argument. Maybe you gossip or this or that. That all come from what I just said. Once we stop eating at the dinner table together, then it makes conversing eye to eye strange with people you familiar with. But when you're eating at the dinner table every day, do you get it? It's like I already talked to them eye to eye. It's easy to talk to them. It's not hard. It becomes hard over time if you're not looking the person in the eye and communicating with them. You're doing it over the phone. You're doing it this way, that way, second hand. All of those things play an effect over time. When you get to the time we at, do you get my point? Y'all just keep everything bottled up and don't really communicate from the heart with each other in that. And got a bunch of things like that that's not being checked. In that, we fall into society. Meaning as a race, we fall into all the stupidities of society that's put there to separate us. It's not necessarily us, but it's whatever race is dumb enough to fall into it. So you got racists right now mimicking blacks even though we ain't got our shit together. And they falling apart too. And that's how it's designed. You get my point? And we gotta stop falling into this shit and start keeping our shit a little more tight-knit. I teach, but some of y'all know how to bring the people together. Bring the people together. I'll come out and speak for free for some shit like that. We gotta start getting back like that. I say get rid of all the groups and all those things. I'm talking about get rid of the separation. I'm not talking about the people in the groups. Y'all still going, y'all whoever y'all are as individuals. But the group got ideals and mindsets that keep us separate. Because you were Muslim, because Fard Muhammad came and brainwashed Elijah Muhammad almost a century ago so he can make black people Muslims and believe in that religion. Here you are now a Muslim Going against your own Christian family member because you think religion come before the family, and nothing come before that. Nothing come before family and tribe. If anything come before that, then what we talking about? It don't matter if you and your family ain't good. It still don't nothing come before that. Because y'all don't understand these things, y'all will talk about y'all own to the public. But the public don't give a fuck about you. All you got is the family. Now once you do that, now what you gonna do? Look stupid. And this is where most of y'all at. You in that place in your life where you like, I done rant my mouth about my family. I feel dumb as fuck asking them for help. Then it just keeps you on that cycle. And so you get my point. These are the things that have to be fixed. And those of y'all that are aware of these things, when you see it happening, you gotta interfere and be like, hey, that ain't the way. You wanna do things this way. Clean up as much as you can. That way everybody can get to that place they need to be mentally and emotionally. Because we all just taking in from each other's filth. If y'all all ain't have to deal with each other, then it wouldn't matter. But being as though everybody got to deal with each other, well, everybody got to work on self. We be lost on trying to fix the world. We got to all fix ourselves. That is fixing the world because the people is the world. And that if everybody focus on fixing themselves and those that are fixed, they put a little into those to helping those trying to fix themselves, then we all receive from everybody's good natures and good ways because they fixed. Until then, we just gonna be receiving from everybody's bitterness and not knowing how to get along in this life. When I say get along, I don't mean with each other. I mean get along. Go through whatever you go through and don't let the thing become you now. It's just a moment in time. If you think you're supposed to come to this life and not get no scrapes, no bruises, then what you here for? That's real talk for all of y'all that's young, old. You complaining and crying, I went through this and that. That's your glory. The fuck you thought you was gonna come here and do nothing? You got to go through shit. Hard, ugly shit and beautiful shit, but you can't let the ugly shit overcome you. If you do, then what was the point of the good shit? Why can't the good shit overcome you? You follow? Y'all gotta adjust y'all mindset. Y'all think it's like a magic trick. It's just simple perspective. Everybody that's black is bitter because their perspective is fucked up. They either don't know the truth on things or you get it, the perspective is just unfair and selfish. Which is what a lot of us have, and that comes from slave hangover. All the slaves is selfish because all the slaves is put against one another. And we carry a lot of slave hangover. And so we just got to get back more familiar with working together and not falling into the perspective like, oh no, we separate. This nigga's a Hebrew, this nigga's a Pan-African. All that's fake. I don't care who you idolize in it or what they say, I'll fuck them up. I stand on that. Anybody in the groups want to fight, let me know. Because you interfering with the young being one, and it's the same with the gang members. Your stupid little goofy gang groups is interfering with the young being one and doing great things. That's the only thing that keep us separate. The Pan-African want to hang out with the Hebrew. Y'all see Sarnetta hanging out with the Hebrews all the time. That part. But y'all fake to y'all groups and get them shits the fuck out of here. We all be locked in. From there, we already know our law and religion is nature. The comings of life, like I was just explaining. Yo, young going through shit you already went through. You cracked a smile. That's the religion. Like, teaching them the right way, letting them make certain mistakes they got to make on their own so they learn. And other ones you stepping in the way where you like, nah, that ain't going down like that. You're not going to learn that on your own. You just going to take your ass upstairs and I'll show you the bullet hole. That's the end result of that. You're not going down that path. I'll just show you a bunch of bullet holes later. And that should help you to grasp. And you get my point? Get back on that. Outside of that, God is within self. God ain't in your religion. It ain't in your religious book. God don't write books. God ain't got hands. You follow? God is within self. God is one with the potential of what you could be. Meaning if you fix all your error ways and make yourself perfectly balanced and honorable, that's your connection with God. You perfect and balanced and on the right vibration. This is you in your higher self, and that higher self is the only thing that have access to what God is. God, all that shit just on the pay no mind list for most people. Again, God is within us all, but most people got God on the pay no mind list. They got some fake God that they got in the world from a book or from somebody they like. But God is within. Ever so often it come to y'all in mind when y'all about to do the wrong damn thing. Some of y'all already on the wrong path, so that voice that always antagonizing you, that you always arguing with when nobody looking, that's God. You wrong. That's why there's the mental clashing happening. You're wrong. You gotta listen to your higher voice. When you about to do something wrong and you get that intuition in that voice, that's God. Listen. Like I said, if you always doing wrong, it's gonna be more of an antagonism for you. You like my mom, you lost in your mind, you arguing with yourself. For those of y'all that ain't on the wrong, you on the right, well, when you about to do wrong, that voice come. That's God. Or that's your highest self. What can connect you to God. And when we all in our higher self, we all one. One mind, one emotion. And all the works of the earth will be done then. You get my point? Outside of that, y'all be worshiping all these fake gods outside of yourselves and putting y'all responsibilities on these gods. So y'all say God gonna die for y'all sins. No, y'all gonna clean up y'all own sins, or y'all gonna live in y'all hell and die in that shit. We all here now, we can all live in heaven if we are heaven within. We can all live love, kindness, and all the beauties of life if we all got that shit in us. Everybody got bitterness and pain in them. So everybody's just receiving that. You get it? And so it take for us to kind of like clean up the self, get to a place where you like, I ain't gonna let nobody disturb me to where I hate them or look to do something bad to them, because I know everybody just struggling through what I once was struggling through, which is the mental clutter and emotions going all over the place. And you know how it be. It be how it be till you get to the place where you grasp. I have to clean myself up. I have to be dependent on myself. I have to be dependent so others can be dependent on me that need to be when they need to be, and vice versa. I can't just always be dependent. And you get my point? Slowly grooming yourself there to when things don't go your way, you don't start looking for somebody to blame. You like, shit, it's just life. I have to figure it out now. Knows that's with you, they gonna help you through. But you can't have the mind that they have to do it for you. You're not never gonna get to that place you need to be. And more than that, you ain't never gonna be able to be that for somebody else. And so it's all an order. And it's all a time thing, but y'all are grasp when y'all do. Now I'm about to depart. If y'all have any questions, y'all can ask. Take the jewels from this, apply it to self. Like I said, if you really want to walk the path of wisdom and be a real student of mine, start with balance and honor. And you're practicing it. Once you accomplish that and you see, like, I have the ability to be fair even when I don't want to. And I have the ability to be honest even when my pride is there, then you will have accomplished conquering your emotions. Because y'all pride is what keep y'all from being honest. That's an emotion. And y'all emotions is what keep y'all from being fair. The favoritism, biasness, this is all emotions. It all got to do with what you like. But once you can always be fair, are fair-minded. I'm not saying your enemy come up and he make a good point. I'm saying your enemy come up and your enemy right, but he your enemy, so you squash him out anyway. But you never lose sight like he was right. You don't ever have to tell him like you're wrong. Hey, you are right, but you my enemy, so I don't care. You get it? Now it probably would never be like that, but I'm just making a point. You're not going to always be fair, but the mind can always be aware of like, yo, I know I'm not being fair right now. And that you keep things balanced. Most people lose their mind when they go into unfairs. They lose sight that they're being it. And so you get my point. Keep everything in the balance. Do the small things first. Like I said, practice balance and honor. When you get that down pat, so you will have accomplished evolving beyond your emotions. Somewhat. You're still gonna have fears and other things that you don't understand. But like I said, that's lesson 2 stuff. Start with that. Y'all fears manifest into scary people. Fear is scary, so scary feeling, scary appearance. I'm saying that because little kids have dreams of monsters. The monsters in their dreams is just their fears manifested. Like I said, fear is scary. So if the person got fear, they gonna see that fear as scary, meaning a scary person. In the physical, you feel the emotion. In the spiritual, you see it for whatever the feeling is. If it feels scary, it's gonna look scary in the spiritual. If the feeling of the emotion is good, it's gonna look good in the spiritual. And so the monsters in kids' dreams, as well as the monsters in a person's afterlife, manifestations of their inner fear. That's why you have to face y'all fear. Y'all fear may just be a fear of speaking. It could be a fear of a person. It could be a fear of being broke. People seeing you like that. Because ain't nobody scared to be broke. People just are afraid of others' perspectives. And, many different things like that. You have to conquer those fears. Otherwise, they haunt you later. They're going to haunt you in the physical now. You get it? By beating your mind down. But you got to conquer them before you die. Otherwise, you die with fears, and you get it? You be going through what was spoken of in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Where the scary entity come, and you get my point, you have to conquer your fears then. You good to conquer them now, because you ain't like you could see the fear, you just feel it. And that, conquer it, you ain't got to even face it. Once you go into dream or death, you get my point? You got to deal with the physical emanation of the thing, the appearance. That make it all the more harder. And so, that's lesson 2 though. Focus on lesson 1. Meaning a lot of y'all be asking me, what's the order of me learning from you if I was a student? Because I got a bunch of videos. And that y'all don't know no start or no end. And none of the videos don't matter. The videos is just me explaining ancient scholarship that y'all don't understand, or maybe me explaining something in life y'all don't understand. But in regards to you, scholarship ain't got nothing to do with you, and neither do the world. Just you and your life got to do with you, and that's what the wisdom got to do with. Clearing out the mind and the emotional state slowly through its processes so that, you get it? The perspective open up. Once the perspective open up, so the knowing open up, or the understanding. And that's all wisdom is understanding. And you can make that understanding more and more sharp. The more sharp your understanding, the more it's likely you're going to understand anything you see, anything you read. Like that. It's not a magic trick where you say, I know everything. It's a I know everything in terms of, if you show me it, I could tell you what it is. Better than you know or think what you know of it. You get it? Let's say you have a book I never read before, but you read it. If you give me the book and I read it, and then I explain to you what the book is about, you're gonna be like, oh shit, that's not what I read. But what you saying make way more sense than what I got from the book. Like that. The wise person read the book, their understanding is sharper. And catching things you not. Maybe they already know that in another rendition. So it makes it all the easier for them. Like that. But that's all depending on balance and honor. And then getting rid of all the other, emotions that's A-Rod. This is what blocks the mind. An emotional person can't hear or think. And next time y'all get emotional, pay attention to it. You need self-awareness to do that. So balance and honor, once you practice that and you actually accomplish it, you will have conquered your emotions and you will have also become self-aware. Because you have to be self-aware to keep track if you're being fair. Meaning in your moments and things happening, you're not going to be fair if you're not even self-aware to say, I'm practicing being fair. You follow? You're not going to be honest unless you self-aware in the moments that you ain't, to check it and say, no, 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 I'm not going to even do that. That's what self-awareness is. When you can catch yourself and say, hold on, I'm watching myself. I'm not just in myself, but I'm watching myself too. Meaning you in yourself doing you, but you watching yourself as well. And so when you become balanced and honest, or balance and honor, when you accomplish those two morals, you will have truly accomplished self-awareness and emotional control. A level of those two things. Of course, self-awareness and emotional control, these things go. You could say every lesson and every step of raising a consciousness is just that. Becoming more self-aware and more in control of the emotions. When I say control them, I don't mean not feel them. I don't even mean not let them overcome you. But what I mean is when you can't control it, to put it down. Think like a motorcycle. The motorcycle got the power to overcome you. And sometimes you may let it, where you crash out. But you still have the power to get the hell off the bike whenever you want. That part is always on you. You want to be like that with your emotions. Where you like, yeah, sometimes y'all see me, I'll let my emotions take over so I can get into the emotion. But even in that moment, I might tell y'all, like, I'm still here. I know I'm cursing this nigga out, but I know what I'm doing. Like, I ain't gone or nothing like that. You want to get like that, where you still can see yourself in the moments of whatever you're doing. Your emotions have to be under control. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a feeling, like, it's an awareness. Like in this moment when I'm speaking, I'm still aware of myself. I'm aware that my hands are moving a lot, and some of y'all are probably thinking, man, move his hands too much. Ain't nothing you could think of or anything that you're doing that I ain't aware of in this moment. You get it? Any aspect of myself and you think like, I noticed something. I noticed it before you. I'm watching me the same way you is. You get it? Now, you watching. Who was saying like, oh, he move his hands a lot? How many of y'all? Like that. How would I know that? I must be watching myself with you. I don't mean on here, just in my vessel. And so, it's a deep thing. Become self-aware. Now, I'm out of here. Y'all enjoy y'all evening. Slowly practice on these things. There's other things like breathing, stretching, but these things come after, the simple things like morals. But as you get up in age, you want to learn how to breathe and stretch properly. Indigo said, how to stay on fair and honor when law enforcement or systems not being fair, honorable. When your vibration is on fair and honorable, you're not going to have whatever problems you're thinking about, and it ain't going to be a thought on your mind. Everything is vibration, everything is attraction, projection, and reception type of thing. When you become fair and honorable, your aura will change. You get my point? You're not going to be concerned with things outside of yourself. Things outside of yourself don't have nothing to do with yourself. You say law enforcement in the system is unfair. What that have to do with you? You don't have to deal with the system or law enforcement if you truly don't want to. Leave Babylon. Do like I told you. Come together and do what I told y'all. And so you get my point? I'm included in that. Meaning I don't want y'all to think y'all can include me in it. We can all come together and do something. In small puddles. But when you get to that place, then you see like it's not whatever I'm complaining about, it's just my own lack. And my own laziness and my own, you get it, dumb shit. Other than that, everything y'all complain about, y'all choose to deal with. Y'all don't have to entertain anything. You don't like the rules of Babylon? Leave it. Find other like-minded people that don't like the rules of Babylon and leave it. There's a bunch of unrestricted land far, far outside the city limits. But what happens is the fear kicks in. So again, to face the fears. Many things. The most important thing is putting yourself in the spaces and places where you know you can continue to do the work on yourself and grow. A lot of times we be in Babylon and then we are not able to do work on ourselves because there's too much going on and too much responsibility that Babylon put on us. To where every moment of the life have to be, every moment of the life, the mind have to be on how do I earn money because I have more bills than I'm ever going to be able to pay. And so you want to get yourself in a space or an environment where the mind can be free so you can focus on yourself. Not in a selfish way, but time out the day to focus on whatever's going on with the self that need to be tended to. Women need to have the time to sit down and soak their bodies and grease their feet because their heels be getting ashy and I don't like it. I'm sorry. See the crusty ass heel, you couldn't get to that? Their life moving that fast, you couldn't put baby lotion on the back of that foot? And so like that, but I know life do be going fast. You have to get the baby to the daycare center, then rush to work, and you get it. The nigga you fuck with in jail, you have to go make his box, and I get it. But you need to get it. Meaning y'all need to get that, y'all need to have time for yourselves to do the simple things. Even if it's just sit there and massage your own thigh because your thigh tight. Whatever you could think of. Maybe you need to just sit and think in peace. You got to start creating the spaces for you to grow. And you get my point? Become perfect and great. Get it out your mind that ain't no such thing as perfect. If there ain't no such thing as perfect, then there ain't no such thing as a nigga that's unperfect. And what are we even talking about? And so you get my point? There's perfect and there's your accomplishing being perfect. And then there's, that other thing that everybody is until they are perfect. And so we just work towards it. Now I'm out of here. Y'all enjoy y'all day, y'all evening. Whoever gave back, I appreciate it. Your efforts in trying to be balanced. It does help. This is my job, my works, giving y'all these jewels. And it brings me whatever hardship it do. Meaning everybody ain't in the likes for y'all, getting y'all shit together. Let's just say all our flaws is somebody else's profit. All your error and flaw, somebody cashing out on that shit. And so you get it? It's y'all dumb that sells. Or you can say it's your dumb that buys. Or however you want to word it. But you get it? It's the dumb within us that's exploited. So you want to get all the dumb out of there. My cash app is, if any of you guys know it, can you put it up for the brother? I don't think I have it in my I don't think it's in the description, and I don't remember it offhand. I don't know why. Oh, cash.me/the real solace. But if any of y'all have the link, you could put it up for them. I'd appreciate that. And so just work on yourself, like I said. Those of y'all that give back, I appreciate that, like I said. Sometimes it get a little rough. Niggas don't be wanting y'all to get this wisdom. They be taking offense when I give it to y'all. And so they try to make things as uncomfortable for me as they can. But, you know, I'm resilient. Ain't too much you could do to me. You get my point? I'm a tough little piece of leather. And hella splendor with it, too. Type of nigga you see dying or taking the L looking good as fuck. Where you like, damn, I don't even mind. I don't even mind losing because that nigga look good. He don't give a fuck. You take it all, like the good with the bad. Yeah, that's it. $sign the real solace. I appreciate that, brother. Now I'm out of here. Till next time. If y'all have any topics y'all want me to discuss, throw them in the comment section somewhere. And like the good brother, what's the good brother that make the oxtails all the time? Let's barbecue, like he say. I'm out.